Cody Parkey, the Bears kicker, doink doink. He, stands in there after missing the field goal, took all the questions, and I commended him because the field goal was tipped, which nobody wanted. That was not going to be the story. It was, hey, you went off the upright and the crossbar, doink doink. It got tipped, and then they eventually changed it to officially a blocked field goal with Cody Parkey. Then he goes on the Today Show and sits down with the ladies. And they gave him like some award, some made-up award, most inspirational player or whatever it was. If I was the head coach of the Bears, I would have fired Cody Parkey once he got off the set of the Today Show. Because you got Matt Nagy, who's the new head coach, who said, hey, we're all in this together. We all win together. We all lose together. I don't need Cody Parkey doing, the could you pat me on the back tour here. That he never should have gone on the Today Show. And he didn't have a good season to begin with. If you're his teammate, you don't want to see him on that show. You backed him. You were there for him. You stood up for him. But he goes on the Today Show. I would have, if I'm Matt Nagy, just said, hey, could you tell Savannah Guthrie when he's done that he's fired? We're releasing him. Yeah, Paulie.
I have a theory about the positive sentiment towards Alshon Jeffrey and Cody Parkey, two guys whose teams lost because they didn't do their job. The internet, social media is so negative, overly, almost universally negative these days, is that it's the new thing is to be ultra embracing of someone who screws up on a big stage, overly embracing. Alshon Jeffrey, it wasn't your fault. Well, it was his fault, but in that moment, it was. It's just a fact. But now everyone says, "Don't worry about it." It's the era of comforting. It's almost like being anti to what the negativity on the internet.
Yeah, Fritzy.
When you look at what happened with Bill Buckner, and you got to move to Idaho and get away from it all, and what they did to Bartman or anyone that's made a mistake, whether you're a fan and that interfered with the ball, or you screwed up. It's just, and death threats. It's just horrible. I can understand, and I appreciate why it would go hopefully the other way in these years where you're trying to do the opposite and try to spread. Donnie Moore ended up committing suicide after giving up a home run to Dave Henderson. So I think it's kind of refreshing that you can put your fandom aside and be a human for a minute and help these guys get through a bad time.
No, I don't want to get to death threats, but if I tell my kicker, we got your back, let's just move into next season. Let's not play this up anymore. You missed a kick. You didn't have a good year. Yes, it was tipped, but don't go on the Today Show. And unless the Today Show every week is going to have, an award for one of these players. Yeah, Fritzy.
And Coach Nagy's exact quote was, for me, you understand that we always talk about a we and not a me thing. He said this at the season-ending news conference. We always talk as a team. We win as a team. We lose as a team. I didn't necessarily think that was too much of a we thing. I just didn't think it was a we thing.
No, it wasn't. It was about Cody Parkey. And we always talk about kickers. They don't feel like they're part of the team. Here's a team that's making you part of the team, and you made yourself, it was about you as an individual. And it was an oh, woe is me tour, and you don't do that. You didn't need to do that. I mean, you should keep your head low and then try to go in and win your job next year. And I just thought it was the wrong decision for him to make. Is Alshon Jeffrey going to be on The View today? Like what? Is everybody going to start doing this? I mean, I feel bad for guys who get put in these situations. And yes, we are overly critical. And having spent a lot of time with Bill Buckner after that ball went through his legs and what happened to his family, I certainly understand, how far fans can go to be fanatics. But I kept cautioning Bears fans to say, look, the ball was tipped. You want to blame people, blame your defense for giving up the touchdown on fourth down. Blame your offensive lineman for allowing somebody to block that kick. Parkey did make the kick prior to that when they were calling the timeout, but the ball was tipped. So I was on Parkey's side there. Alshon Jeffrey probably dropped the fewest balls of any wide receiver this year in the NFL. But he dropped that one. Does that mean they win the game? No, but he did drop it. Okay, how far do you take your criticism? Yeah? How upset are you with Alshon Jeffrey? It certainly helps the Eagles won a Super Bowl last year. I will tell you that. But Alshon Jeffrey dropped it, feel bad, move on. But I don't want to see Alshon Jeffrey going on the Today Show to go, hey, could you give me an award here? Could I get the Cody Parkey Award? Yeah, McLovin.
Yeah, speaking as an Eagles fan, the fact that Alshon doesn't do a lot of media helps him here. Like, he's quiet. I think he kept it in the locker room, whatever he was feeling.
Yes, and that's where it should be. All you have to do is say to your teammates, I feel bad. I mean, everybody knows you feel bad. Nick Foles went up to Alshon Jeffrey and had, things to say, nice things to say about him because he knows that he's been clutch for them. He was great helping them win a Super Bowl. Cody Parkey has no resume. You can't be going on the Today Show. But I would have just said insubordination. Cody, why don't you stay with Hoda and Savannah? Or you can join Kathy Lee if you want to. I'm surprised he didn't just stay for another hour and then be on with Al Roker and Kathy Lee drinking wine. Yes, Paul.
The tough part for the Bears, there's all this sentiment to cut Cody Parkey. There's a lot of money going on here. They gave him a 4-year deal last summer. Mm-hmm. So they owe him for guaranteed money, completely guaranteed for the 2019 season. They owe him $2.75 million plus his prorated signing bonus. They owe him over $3 million for the 19 season, whether he plays a minute or not.
Yeah.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.